Welcome back to Global Eye. The defence sector is seeing countries racing for new technologies, and India is no exception. Just in October this year, India and Spain inaugurated a C-295 aircraft manufacturing factory in Gujarat with Airbus Spain in a contract worth nearly 22,000 crore rupees. I caught up with Spain's ambassador to India, Juan Antonio March Pujol, on the strategic defence partnership and the future of the relationship between both nations.
Well, you know, we approved on the 28th of October in Vadodara during the visit of the Spanish Prime Minister and the Indian Prime Minister that we are going to have 2026 as the year of India and Spain for culture, tourism and artificial intelligence. So this is going to connect very much our enterprises in India and Spain, where artificial intelligence is very important. And obviously one area where artificial intelligence is key is in defense. And we are very performant, especially in the area of submarines, where we have developed a very advanced system to have the submarines being able to be totally underwater for more than 3-4 weeks without having to come to the surface. This has been extremely well developed by our group Navantia and Juan Larsen, the great shipyard here in India. And in my view, is the most developed technology in the world for the new generation of submarines. So the same that we have been able to be very advanced with Airbus, I think we will be very advanced in the area of defense, providing to the Indian Navy the new generation of submarines.
Right. So you're saying Navantia and L&T have come together. Now, it's been a while since this agreement was finalized. You are pitching for the P-75 submarine program in India. What is the status of the negotiations with the Indian side on that?
Well, more than negotiations, we have submitted our, let's say, our offer, what we can do, that is really very advanced and very performant. Now the Indian Navy has to decide if the different offers have the necessary qualifications. We think that we have done by large. And after that, it will be the opening of the different tenders, and depending on the delays of manufacturing, of the prices, of the capacity of doing that in India, not just exporting to India, but making them in India, well, the government will take the final decision. But I think that what is important on the Spanish side is that we are very much on the idea that this has to be produced in India, that has to be manufactured in India, the same that we have made with Airbus, that all these new cities that will be made for the Indian aviation will be produced in Vadodara. So I think we have the very high developed technology, the high qualifications, the high quality, the very good partner here in India. And the idea is that if Spain and India produce these new submarines, it will be very performant for the Indian Navy, but also I think we will be able to export to very neighboring countries like maybe Vietnam, others, who have a very good relationship with India, and this will be a very good triangular cooperation of India, Spain and the third countries.
Ambassador March, we would also like to understand from you as to how your offering on making submarines in India is different from others, and what is the level of technology transfer that you're willing to give?
Well, you know, we have been collaborating with Juan Larsen for a long time. We have producing already some ships for the Navy. So there is a long-standing collaboration between the Indian and the Spanish group Navantia. And what we are offering is to go in a more technological advanced era. You know, everything is changing in the world. The key thing is how you innovate. So we have been developing a great new system that's going to be integrated in the NATO. Relationships of India with United States, with Europe are very good. So I think, and the idea is to continue progressing in innovation. India is a country that is in the front line of innovation in the digital area. So for us it's really a privilege to be the great partners of India.
So will it be 80 or 85% technology transfer, as we have seen in some relationships with US, or will it be 100% technology transfer that we're talking about?
Well, you know, this is something very much in the details, but it will be a great transfer of technology. We don't want to make exports. We want that this is produced in India, that India gets this technology to continue developing. You have great engineers, you have great capacity of absorption. So we think that we can go for this even triangular cooperation, that things that will be produced in India will go to neighboring countries that want to also modernize their equipment.
Right. I would like to ask you, what is the potential here? What's the total cost of the deal according to you right now?
Well, it's a high figure. They're always talking about in total for the next series of 6 submarines around $3 billion. But obviously, if they are successful, maybe it has not to stop in the 6 submarines. Maybe it will expand. But what is important is to start with the first series, to see that it's extremely performant for the Indian Navy, and then, you know, future is totally open.
Right. Now, in terms of greater collaboration with the Indian private sector, how bullish are you about increasing defense exports from India to Spain, and generally give us a sense of your relationship with the Indian defense industry?
Well, we are very happy to have a real important dialogue on that. We are invited to the Great Defense Fair that will be here in the first fortnight of February, and we will participate with some industries. But at the same time, we have a very important defense fair in Madrid in mid-March, and we have invited, obviously, your industries to be present there. So it's an opening, you know. India, let's say 15 years ago, had more or less 85% of the defense equipment made by Russia. Today it's only 45%, so India is diversifying. We are very happy to be among these countries, will be part of this diversification. I think that it's very important for Indian sovereignty, for India capacity of absorbing the best technologies, and we think that we will grow in the future in the connection with India.
All right, Spain and India aspiring to grow the defense relationship, and the Spanish ambassador telling us that after the C-295 project, they're eyeing the P-75I submarine project, which is for 6 submarines, and they want to make in India, not just for the Indian market, but for exports as well. With that, it's a wrap of this edition of Global Eye. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.